So welcome back to Jerome Bee Farm and Homestead. So this is going to be our October update. It's mid-October. It's Columbus Day, as I have the day off, and I'm actually taking off all week because I'm going to pull my honey supers off today. So we had our first freeze. It wasn't supposed to freeze, but it did. It got down to 28, 29 degrees, and it was supposed to only get down to 34, so they missed the forecast a little bit. So most of our garden has died off. Well, not completely, but it's got some freeze damage in there. All the peppers and the outside parts of the tomatoes are all wilted. So let's head over there and let's take a look at that. So you can see the zinnias are all turning brown, and the cypress vine is turning brown up here. It's pretty dry here too. We haven't had a rain in about 3 weeks, I think. So you can see the freeze damage on the peppers. So the night after the freeze, I came out here and pulled off all the bell peppers out of here. We got about 7 gallons of bell peppers. So sliced them all up and chopped them up and got them all frozen. So you can see the freeze damage here. This pepper here was supposed to have been a bell, but it's got a pointy bottom, and those are hot. So I just left them there, so we don't use those for anything. Here's the jalapeno. Looks like we got one right here we could get. So this is the Fooled You jalapeno. So these aren't hot at all, and they have good flavor. So this isn't any hotter than the bell peppers, so these are really good. We slice them down the middle and fill them with cream cheese and put bacon on them, and brown sugar. Bake them at 400. Man, they're good. This bell here's had it. Looks like I missed one right there. But we're gonna pull most of these out of here today, and I'm gonna start preparing this bed for our fall crops. So all of our marigolds we planted from seed that we saved, so we'll pull a bunch of pods off of here and reuse these next year. Those are full of seeds. The tomatoes, you can see, are frozen pretty much on the outside, freeze damage. There's a lot of tomatoes in there. That's got freeze damage on it. It's soft. But down inside there where it stayed warmer, there's a lot of tomatoes in there. A lot of green ones. A lot of them we could go ahead and pick. Got a bunch of these. So normally what we do before the next hard freeze, we'll pull all these green ones off and take them in the house and let them ripen in the window. And we'll have tomatoes at Thanksgiving. The celery, the cold didn't phase it. I'm not sure when we're going to harvest this. We may let it grow a little bit into the winter. But you can see the stalks starting to form down there. That celery's really done well, and pests don't bother it at all. I thought that was kind of odd. Picked off all the cucumbers, had about 5 gallons of cucumbers, and we're not doing anything with them. Looks like I missed one right here. It's amazing how these things hide. So I gave half of them to the chickens this morning. Looks like there's one right there on the fence I missed too. Oh, the green beans are pretty much done. This is a climbing bean here. I got most of the beans off of it. It's like I missed one right there. But this made nice beans. I don't know what variety it was. We think it came up from last year's. It came up volunteer. We had bush beans planted all over in here, and then this came up volunteer, and we just let it go. So that's it for the garden. Let's go check out the chickens. The grasshoppers are really getting after it, so they love the grasshoppers. A lot of times I'll walk along this fence and scare one in there. Man, they go after him. Where'd he go? See if I can get one kicked in there. Yeah, so the grass is turning brown, most of it. Here's our little cherry tree. I think it's a cherry tree. I watered it last night. It's a good thing this cherry tree, any tree, started here, because this elm has died. Died from Dutch elm disease. This tree was green as could be in June, July, and then all of a sudden the leaves all turned brown and fell off of it. So I cut off a big chunk of comfrey this morning and gave to them, along with all these cucumbers. They eat the seeds out first, and then they'll eventually eat this down to the skin. And they'll clean these up. You can see all the tops of the peppers that had the seed pods on them that I threw out here, and they eat those pepper seeds right up. So here's what a cucumber looks like after they've had it for a day. Nothing left but the skin. Y'all want a green bean? Not really. Let's see how egg production is doing. Oh! Yes, I understand. So we got one there, and 2 in process. We'll leave her alone. So something kind of cool I noticed in this little introduction pen is there's a tomato growing. Look at that. It's not going to do anything. It'll freeze out. But that's kind of neat. So chicken must have ate a tomato and pooped out the seed, and it took off a growing. Let's head down to the beehives. I'll tell you what's going on right there, and then we'll go up and check on the construction progress. Okay, so we're down to 24 beehives. At the peak of the season, I think we were around 32 at one time. So what happens is throughout the year you'll have some abscond, which means they just leave. A hive will go queenless or whatever, and I had 3 of those. And also I've combined some of the weaker hives. Okay, let's go up and check out the progress on the construction. Looks like most of the plums have come off the little plum tree. They're all down here on the ground. Little purple plum, and they're mostly seed and they're sour. They sure smell good in the springtime though when they bloom. This is a sweet gum tree. They turn really pretty red in the fall. Only bad thing about these sweet gum trees is they put these little spiky little balls on them that fall off, and they're a pain in the butt. But out here I don't think it's going to bother us much. We put it here because this big pretty tree right here is an elm. So it will likely die here in the next few years from the Dutch elm disease. We also planted a couple of willow oaks right here. We got more of them out on our property, but this is a willow oak, and they are very hardy. We planted this from a little seedling we got at Eufaula State Park. There's another one over there. There's a couple more of them down here. So they can go quite a while without water. Pretty drought tolerant. That's one right there as well. And this poor little oak tree got mowed off this year, but it came back pretty good. So here's the construction project. They got the all the drain PVC in, and the water lines ran. So this is the 2 bedrooms here and a bathroom in the middle. And the kitchen's going to be back here. There's going to be a huge sliding glass window there, so we'll have a nice view of the woods back there. Kitchen sink's going to be all along here. And this is like a breakfast area. And living area is in here, and like a formal dining room or something is kind of in that area. And office, and this is where master bedroom, bath, shower, utility, and then the garage. So we're just doing a 2-car garage, mainly because we've got that huge barn there, so we don't need a 3-car garage. And there's going to be a little bathroom right here coming in from the outside, and a mudroom. So we're waiting on the plumbing inspection to finish this. So once it's inspected, I assume they'll cover this all up and fill it with sand and then pour the slab. Here's our inspection stickers from the city inspectors. Yes, I am in the city. All those big deer pictures and stuff that you see, we're in the city. But all the big bucks that you see are mostly videoed back there behind where those beehives are, back in those trees. There's a creek bottom back in there. Yeah, so I got me this new track hoe to play around with. Just kidding. That's the plumber's. I'd like to play with it though. So yeah, that's what we got going on out here at the Jerome Bee Farm and Homestead. So probably the videos we put out are going to start getting more spaced out because there's less stuff to video. It's froze. Going to harvest the honey, and there'll be like one more inspection. I got some varroa treatments I need to do, and I need to check all the hives for weight and make sure they have plenty of sugar or plenty of honey in there, and if not, I'll put sugar feeders on. And I know there's probably at least 5 or 6 that could use a little help, so we'll get started on that, and that'll pretty much be it for the bee season. So that's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Be sure and give me a thumbs up on the video, and please subscribe before you leave. I appreciate that, and we'll catch you on the next video. Y'all take care.